and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson, episode 25. So with this episode, I was supposed to be getting an over-the-phone interview with a guy out of Tulsa, Oklahoma that kind of knew a little bit about the Tulsa Tennis Club, which is one of the oldest tennis clubs in Tulsa, Oklahoma. However, been having a hard time trying to get a hold of him. So, I just haven't been able to get a hold of him yet, but that will come later with an over-the-phone interview with that. So with that in mind, I just want to, with Wimbledon fast approaching the end, and I'm going to be kind of talking a little bit about the Wimbledon today. As you can tell, I have my Wimbledon shirt on that came all the way from London from many years ago that somebody got me. So I really appreciate that. So anyway, with that in mind, I just want to talk a little bit more about Wimbledon and kind of what's going on with Wimbledon this year. With the women's final being set now with Jabeur and Marketa Vonrousova. And those two are going to be playing. Jabeur is the second time that she's made it into the final. And she's I think the fourth woman to actually make it back-to-back finals, one of those including Lindsay Davenport and Serena Williams, and she's along that company too. But she has such a good counterpuncher game to her. She beat Arina Sabalenka today in a very good match. So with that, I'm myself, I think, I'm going to be pulling for Jabeur. It should be a very good match. It probably will go 3 sets. But Jabeur, I think it's her time to win a major. And I think it will be very good for her to win something. So with that in mind, I just wanted to put that 2 cents in. You YouTubers, if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Make a comment. Who do you think might win in the women's final at Wimbledon this year? Jabeur or Marketa Vonrousova? So, whichever, let me know, or, make a comment. And for you podcasters out there, I will be getting the racket of the day pretty soon here. And I will have to get that real quick also. So bear with me on that, because I'm going to have to get that racket. I forgot to get it. So bear with me on that. I will get it and then get right back on. But for you podcasters, you will be able to see what I'm talking about with racket of the day with what I have for the racket of the day today. So with that in mind, tomorrow we have the men's semifinals to see who is going to go into the finals of Wimbledon. And that's going to be between Daniel Medvedev and Carlos Alcaraz, and then Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner. So those two should be pretty good matches. I think the one that's going to probably be the best is going to be the Daniel Medvedev and Carlos Alcaraz, because of the fact that a lot of people, I think, are odds-on favorite that Alcaraz might win this. But I really think that as good as Medvedev played the other day in a 5-setter, his serve was really on. And I think that he is going to might have a chance to beat Alcaraz. But you never know. But that's who I'm pulling for, is Daniel Medvedev. And I think that Novak Djokovic will beat Sinner. But it'll be a very good match, too. But I think that Djokovic is just way better with ground strokes and serve, and just knowing how to move people around a lot more. So with that, people, you can leave a comment and tell me who you think might win in the Wimbledon men's semifinal. And then I think it'll be Daniel Medvedev and Novak Djokovic in the final. And Djokovic will get revenge against him from him beating Djokovic to where he could not win all four majors in 1 year. The U.S. Open is where Daniel Medvedev beat him when Djokovic was on the verge of winning all four majors in the same year, the Grand Slam. But Daniel had other things to say about that. So with that in mind, just leave a comment. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's been a very good tournament all this fortnight of Wimbledon, and also with the two courts that are covered. And they had a rain delay the first 2 days, and they had to have a lot of backup matches. And they played a lot of indoor court matches, and they got everything all caught up for the third day of Wimbledon. And it was very good because it all got caught up and was very pretty much on schedule. Then the weather cooperated pretty much the whole rest of the week. They've had what looked like it could be rain. So what they do at Wimbledon with the two covered courts, if they cover the court or close the roof on the courts, they will keep the roof closed the whole time during a match that way. And, for that particular reason. But if they start with the roof open and don't close it, then they can close it if it decides to rain or starts to rain. They can close it, but they will keep it open otherwise. But that always has the option of being closed. But if it's closed at first, then it will stay closed the entire time that they're carrying on matches. So time will tell tomorrow if it'll be outside tennis or indoor tennis with the roof closed on the center court and court one and stuff. But I happened to be there 1 year in 2008 and got to see just a little bit of court one entrance and stuff, and a little bit of the grass courts, which was really fun for me to go see Wimbledon. And with that, I really personally liked it a lot. Just being able to be there and see Wimbledon. Of course, it was after the big Rafa and Federer match in 2008, and they were still cleaning up the grounds, so I couldn't go see the grounds at all. But I did see the museum, which was really fun for me to go see. Found Wimbledon, not too hard to find once you kind of know the tube system. And that was really fun and be able to see and do in being in London at the time that I was there and stuff. But so yeah, what do you guys kind of think with the final for men? And what do you think about the women's final coming up on Saturday? And then the semifinals for the men tomorrow. And I think it's going to be very good tennis all the way around for everybody to be, able to see such good tennis all over the place with all the four diverse kind of players that there are with the men. And then the two different kind of players, one kind of a power player, powers her way through like Vonrousova. That's a tough name. Hard trying to pronounce that, but I'll get it down. But anyway, Jabeur has the spin and the way of defusing the hard kind of shots that may come her way, and she can get some shots, and she has power in her game too. A lot of people don't think she does, but she has some very good power with what she's doing with the racket and the strokes that she has in beating Sabalenka which is a pure power player. She just hung in there and just kept getting balls back, and it frustrated Sabalenka, and she finally took over the third set and won in 3 today over Sabalenka. It was a very good match. Sabalenka won in a tiebreaker, 7-6, 7 points to 5. Then Jabeur won 6-4, and then she just kind of took over in the third set and just was really hitting the ball very good and clean all the way through the third set, and she ended up winning 6-3 today. So it was a very good match all the way around. Looking forward to seeing that final on Saturday, and very much so with the 4 guys in the semifinal to see who goes to the final tomorrow. It should be very good tennis all the way around with that. So yeah, just leave a comment. You YouTubers, be sure and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in comments what you might want to hear. I'm always up to something that you might want me to say or talk about. Always looking for suggestions that way. And you podcasters, like I said, you'll be able to see my racket of the day if you want to go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and on YouTube. And you can subscribe and like and make comments, whatever you might want me to say or do, for my podcast. Always looking for suggestions with this, but I kind of more like getting into with talking with in letting people know the ins and outs of the different aspects of tidbits of tennis and how other people got started in their tennis career, and with some of my phone interviews that I've had, which I hope that you've liked through my podcasts of the 24 of them that I've had so far, which I've had a great time doing. So I encourage anybody that wants to subscribe to my podcast, please do leave comments. Always appreciated. And with that, if you just pardon me just a second, I'm going to go get the racket of the day. Sorry, hold on. So anyway, sorry about that. This racket actually is a AJ Spalding racket. This Spalding, it's a Dennis Ralston contender racket. It's kind of one of the names that they have it. It's a fiber welded throat, actually manufactured by AJ Spalding and Brothers of Belgium. See, they made the frames in Belgium, and then they shipped them to the U.S., and then they shaped them into the shape of a racket. And then Dennis Ralston actually was the one that promoted this racket. Now, like I said, you YouTubers can, as you're looking at it, you can make a comment about the racket itself, what you think about it, and all that. And, with that in mind, be sure and let me know what you think of the racket of the day. I think it's really kind of cool that I can and able to show you all these nice older rackets, because if I didn't have them, nobody else would, and they'd be in the junk heap somewhere. So you podcasters, if you want to see what I'm talking about, an AG Spalding racket, endorsed by Dennis Ralston. Now, he was an American player, Dennis Ralston, but this is the racket that sponsored him through the. And this racket here is probably in the early, I would say late mid 50s. I'd say the early 50s to mid 60s. Late 60s racket that they did make these and manufacture them and sold them at sporting goods stores around for Spalding and whoever endorsed the racket at that time, which was Dennis Ralston. Now, Dennis Ralston himself, he He was let's see, he was born July 27th of 1942, and December, and he passed away December 6th of 2020, in Bakersfield. He was from Bakersfield, California, but he passed away in Austin, Texas. He was number 5 in the world, won 41 titles altogether that he did. Record was 576 and 251. The 69.6% percentage, winning percentage. Won the Australian, he was in the Australian semifinals in 1970, Wimbledon final in 66, US Open semi-final in 60, US Pro semifinalist in 68, Wimbledon quarterfinals in 67, 68, French Pro second round 68, doubles 125 and 87, career 87, 125 wins, 87 losses, career titles 3 Open era Grand Slam doubles, Australian semifinal in 71, and that's about right in that era. A little earlier than that is when I was starting to play, about 67 or 65, 66, 67 in that year. Those were my junior high years that I started playing tennis. And it was, all I did is play tennis all one summer with friends of mine. So that was always a fun thing to do that way. So with that, he had mixed doubles in Wimbledon, French in 62 and 66, US Open in 69. Davis Cup player from 68 to 71, and was also coach and captain 72 through 75 of the Davis Cup captain duties that he carried out through those years. But he was a very good player, number 5 in the world. He lived to a very good age, and one of the better and harder competitors on the circuit at that time, back in the early 70s. But of course, he was about that era of competing with John Newcomb and Tony Roach and Ken Rosewall, Rod Laver. So, those guys were up there, and they really knew how to play too. So, Ralston was a very consistent and steady player all the way through his tennis career. And he lived a very good life in playing tennis. It was very good to him too. But like I said, you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket of the day, Spalding, endorsed by Dennis Ralston, they founded in 1876, 147 years ago is when A.G. Spalding was founded. So 147 years they've been in business and doing this with rackets too, and they still make rackets to this day. So like I said, you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket of the day, then be sure and go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. You'll be able to see the racket I'm talking about today. And you YouTubers, be sure and subscribe. You podcasters, subscribe, like, comment, please. Let me know what you're thinking about that stuff. So with that, I do want to let you know that enjoy the week of next week, and wherever you are playing tennis. And if it's a good day out there, get out and hit that ball and keep on playing. That's what I'm going to probably do tomorrow. If it's a nice day, get out there and get some morning tennis in with a friend of mine, and see if I can do any better against him tomorrow. For tomorrow's another day with, you just got to kind of, like the Wimbledon saying over the center court says, if you can treat triumph and disaster, if you can treat triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, then kind of that's the saying behind it there. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. So hopefully I can meet with triumph tomorrow. So see what happens. So everybody have a good week in playing tennis this week, and enjoy the week. And I'll get back to you with something next week and see what happens. And everybody have a good week. Thank you, and have a good week.